So let's conclude the text. And the conclusion is quite short. It's a dedication of merit. So here we are, dedication of virtue arising from the composition. So now Panchen Lozang, having completed his commentary to his own text, he is aware that there's merit, there's virtue from this, so he's going to be dedicating it, and we'll see how he dedicates it. Thus, so in the root verses, a renunciate who has heard many discourses, I who am called Lozang Chökyi Gyaltsen, say, by my virtue may all beings quickly win conquest through this path. That is the door to peace, apart from which there is no second. I'm going to change that just a little bit. Whoops. Change that just a little bit. Gain victory. That's going to be my choice, rather than win conquest. May all beings quickly gain victory through this path that is the door to peace, apart from which there is no second. In his commentary, this is the way of fulfilling the promise made at the beginning of the text, and as a dedication of virtue entailed by composing the work, so that all beings may gain victory in the battle with the two obscurations, afflictive obscurations and cognitive. I say it's the supreme essence churned from the sea of the sutras and tantras, the pith of the complete enlightened view of the scholar adepts, the pandits and siddhas of India and Tibet, the path traversed by every supreme and holy adept or siddha. May the sun of Mahamudra teaching rise here today. Embodied beings whose minds are drunk on the wine of ignorant delusion and enter the prison house of fearsome mundane existence. That's synonymous with samsara. Where they're tormented by the three sufferings. You know those: blatant suffering, suffering of change, pervasive existential suffering. Where they're tormented by the three sufferings. For them, Mahamudra is a pleasure grove, a resting place where pain is soothed. The eye that sees the excellent path for every being, the tradition of explanation of great and holy beings, the clear and beautiful form of unmixed Mahamudra. This is the jeweled mirror in which everything manifests. In Mahamudra, the binding fetters of the 8 mundane concerns are cut. It is also the Guru who exhorts us on the excellent path, which does not deceive those many fortunate beings who practice in solitary places, bending desire towards the bliss of samadhi. In this way, the massive virtue that has arisen from effort, like jasmine opened by the moon's cool rays, any supremely positive karma I have amassed, I dedicate to great awakening, so motherly beings may be free. By virtue of that, may the excellent mind vase of every being be filled with the divine nectar of Mahamudra, which unites the Sutrayana and Mantrayana, and may they enjoy the great bliss of union. And that concludes his text. There is then just the colophon, his explanation of how this composition came about. So I'll read that. Now, as for this lamp so bright and extensive explanation of the Mahamudra root text of the teaching tradition of the precious Geiden oral transmission, my student Nechu Rapjamba Gendun Gyaltsen, who has attained certainty about this path, undertaken the essential practice, and made perfect offerings of the flowers of practice unsullied by the weaknesses of the 8 mundane concerns, he asked me, would you yourself please compose an extensive commentary on this root text, which severs extreme views, clarifies the essential meaning that is to be taken to heart, provides authoritative backing for the combination of scripture and reasoning, and is adorned with instructions from the hearing transmission. That's where the pith instructions come in. Based on his enthusiastic exhortation, I, the renunciate Chökyi Gyaltsen, who have gone to the far shore of the sea of individual Mahamudra, tenet systems, have written this quickly, under prodding, at the temple in the great Dharma school of Dashilumbo, and this, of course, is his home monastery in western Tibet, in Shikase. By this, may the precious teaching be a banner of victory that is never lowered. Om Svasti. The fully branching, wish-fulfilling tree of the Conqueror's teaching, which is the source of benefit and bliss, is planted at the great Dharma school of spontaneous auspiciousness, Dashi Lundup, so that all beings may practice for the excellent fruit of supreme liberation. May this inexhaustible cloud of Dharma spread like a slow-moving stream. Sarva Jagatam. And I want to once again thank Roger Jackson for his translation, without which we really couldn't have held this teaching. And so I thank him and hope that my suggestions for editing the translation, I hope may be helpful. Very simple aspiration. So that concludes the oral transmission and the commentary on this text. First time I've ever taught it. I received it 40 years ago. And it has been an enormous privilege to be able to share this with others. So, thus is the union of the Gelugpa and the Kagyü tradition on the theme of Mahamudra. And then we'll go directly back to naked awareness. We still have a bit of time.